Welcome to the channel. What's going on in the shed today? Well, I'm having a bit of a clean up and improvement. I've already cleaned up the top of the workbench, but the bottom still needs attention. As you can see, I've made a little wooden box to put all the little bits of scrap aluminium and steel in, so that they're not sitting all over the top of the bench. But I need to do something about that. As you can see, my fixed workbenches are all nice and neat with sliding doors in front of them. The sliding doors just use this 2-channel plastic strip, and as it happens, I've got a couple of pieces left over from when I built these years ago. The top channel is deeper than the bottom channel, and so it's easy to remove the doors just by lifting them up and pulling them out. You can see that one door has two sort of grabs on the outside, and the other door has one on the inside and one on the outside. So I'm going to use the same sort of arrangement for my little mobile workbench with all the scraps of wood underneath it. But sadly, the plastic strip was the only stuff that I had in stock. And you can see one channel is deeper than the other. Anyway, it was off to Bunnings to buy some material, so I've just got some 42 by 19 pine for the framework and some 3mm ply for the doors. So step one is to take all this valuable scrap from under the workbench. And yes, it is valuable. I've got bits of hewn pine and bits of Australian red cedar, bits of ordinary pine, etc. But over the years I've been able to build all sorts of stuff with these bits of scrap. So I don't want to throw it out, but I do need to critically analyse it and decide what I'm going to keep and what really does need to be thrown out. This is very painful, as I don't like throwing anything out, but really I need to rationalise a little bit. I'm going to completely enclose under the bench, but I'm going to do the sliding doors first at the front. Now, I'm telling myself the short one goes on the bottom and the deeper one goes on the top. I've drilled and countersunk some holes in the bottom of the channel so that the little screws won't interrupt the sliding of the doors. You can see I've opted for a wheelie chair. This business of kneeling on concrete, no, not for me. That's all done, but I've just realised all that work, and I've put the deeper channel in the bottom and the thinner one on top. Oh well, back to the old drawing board. Right, we've got the channel correctly placed. Now it's just a matter of measuring the right gap so that those sliding doors slide in correctly. Time to cut the handles, and I'm just using that 42 by 19 pine. There needs to be a gap above these handles so that the doors can be lifted up and pulled out. I'm going to put the same fancy pattern on these handles as I've got on my other drawers, so just a quick job on the router and the job's done. Well, amazingly, that looks like a proper job. On to the rest of the sides. I'm going to do the back next. Now, because I've got lots of little bits and pieces of wood, if I enclose all four sides, it's going to be difficult to find wood that's in the back. So I'm actually going to make the back panel removable as well, but it's just going to be a single panel. I don't have any more of that double plastic track, but I only need one track top and bottom anyway, so I'm going to use a bit of this pine and just cut a track in the top and the bottom. Now it just so happens that the width of my blade is 3mm, so one cut of the blade will be enough for the channel for the 3mm ply to slide in. And I'll cut a deeper channel for the top piece than the bottom piece. This workbench was made out of eucalypt hardwood, and now that it's years old, it is really hard. So pre-drilling is absolutely necessary. Top and bottom track is installed, and the back piece is cut out with a couple of little holes for just for handheld, and slide it into the top slot, and it should just sit down into the bottom slot and sit there perfectly. I'm not going to bore you by showing every step of the sides, but I've just ripped some of that 42mm in half so that it's narrower, and now I'm just putting a frame around the edges. Once the frame's in there, I'll just be able to screw in a panel from the back so that it looks nice and neat. Both side panels are in place, so I can put the back panel in, turn the bench around, put the sliding doors in, and Robert will be my father's brother-in-law. And is that a thing of beauty or what? But there's one more thing to do, and that's to put all that scrap wood back in its place. Job's all done. Very satisfying. All that scrap wood now nicely hidden. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.